Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Creed franchise, or the Rocky franchise, whatever you want to call it. Creed 3 was a massive success, so naturally a lot of people are wondering where this franchise is going to go next. Well, with Adonis, they've kind of written themselves into a corner. They've concluded his story. I mean, at the beginning of the movie, he's a boxing coach. He's pretty much retired from the sport of boxing, and he came out of retirement to prove that he still had it in him. But in these boxing movies, the champ coming out of retirement is kind of the last card you have to play before you need another new main fighter. So I'm not sure if they should continue with Adonis as the main character, but there are alternate options, and some of them are pretty interesting. So I'm going to list off 3 possible directions they could take this Creed movie franchise. Keep in mind, some of the ideas for spin-off projects that I'm going to tell you about today have been announced. That doesn't mean they're in production right now, but there is an idea to make them in the future. So now let's hop into the first and maybe most likely spin-off idea that I also feel like will be the most controversial, and that is a spin-off film about Adonis's daughter, Amara. So we obviously saw in Creed 3 that Amara takes a heavy interest in Adonis's boxing career and just boxing in general, and it would make sense for the main character's son or daughter to continue the legacy, which is exactly what Adonis did to his father Apollo. But to be honest, I do have some issues with this potential spin-off idea. For starters, I don't think it's going to be very well received. For the most part, the Creed and Rocky movies have been primarily about the masculine nature of boxing and fighting and all the hardships and struggles that come along with it. And these movies do represent the highest level of human combat in terms of boxing, which is the men's heavyweight division. So based solely on that alone, I think people will be reluctant to give this film a chance. And also, Amara doesn't speak, she uses sign language, so I think for her to carry a film all by herself is asking a bit much. I think she was a great side character and she had a great narrative, but I don't know if you can hold your own film these days without speaking. So yeah, even if the movie did turn out to be good, I feel like people would not give it a chance, and the box office numbers would suffer because of that, and then we likely would get less Creed projects. That's a bit of a slippery slope, but I mean, I can see that playing out, definitely. So another way I could see them take this franchise is just expand on the characters we have now. So take a loved character, whether it be Drago or Damian Anderson, assuming he gets everything sorted out. But yeah, just a movie about a compelling side character with a great story. Adonis could even be in it. I think if they play their cards right, they can make another hit. Now, Drago's my favorite character, so I have thought about some possible spin-off ideas surrounding his character. And I guess I'd like to see the way he became a boxer, all the training he did when he was a kid with his dad, and then how he finally made it to the big stages with Adonis. Or maybe show us a fight with Drago that takes place after he lost to Adonis. See him regain the belts and all that. Honestly, a movie that they need to make surrounding Drago's character is a Drago versus Damian Anderson fight. That movie would do crazy numbers if it was built up to in the correct way, because we were supposed to see Drago fight in Creed 3 against, I think his name was Felix Chavez. I kind of forgot. And of course, Damian's guys intentionally injure Drago at this party so Damian can get his chance to shine, and he takes his chance and becomes a household name in the world of boxing. So I guess to build up to this fight correctly, the beginning of the movie could be Drago versus Felix Chavez, the matchup that was supposed to happen, and then have Drago win that matchup, and then he can build up to a Damian Anderson fight. And it'd be interesting to see what Adonis's role in this whole movie would be. I don't think he would choose a side. If he had to, he'd probably choose Damian because they did make up at the end of Creed 3. But he still is on good terms with Drago, so I think he would do his best to try and stay neutral. And I think this whole idea would just be an interesting dynamic between 2 side characters that I think have a lot of potential for their own solo movies. And I'm pretty sure a Drago spin-off movie was being heavily talked about. I don't think it's in production, but the idea has been tossed around by important executives in Hollywood. So honestly, if they were going to continue this Creed or Rocky franchise, I think a Drago movie is where it's at. And now for the last way I see them taking this franchise. I've been seeing a bunch of headlines that Michael B. Jordan is working on a Creed anime. I mean, that's just, I don't know, that's so crazy to me. I don't even know what they would do because Creed's story is kind of already told within the trilogy. Maybe the anime would just take all the big fights from the trilogy and, animate them really well. But also maybe this anime could give us the fights that we didn't get to see that took place in between the first and second film when Michael B. Jordan made his title charge for all the belts. Because we didn't see a lot of fights. We only saw the title fight. So we could probably see a lot of fights there. We could probably get a lot of cool character moments. I have no idea what the animation style is going to look like. But I'm a pretty big anime fan myself, so I'm pretty excited for this one. But I only see it going one of two ways. Either it's really good, it's a massive hit, the animation is flawless, or it's just really bad. Now I hope it's really good because I like the Creed movies and I like anime, but I am the most skeptical of this spin-off idea. If this anime wants to follow Adonis as the main character, I think it has to just retell the stories we saw throughout the trilogy and then add extra stuff to it, which would be the fights in between the first and second film and all of that. And I would be really happy with that, honestly. We could get cool moments of him and Felix Chavez that would take place during the third movie. We could get a more in-depth backstory of Adonis and Damien growing up together. That would be very cool. There's a lot of things they can do with a Creed anime. And if it's in the right hands, it could be a huge hit. So that's going to wrap it up. Pretty simple video today. I was just talking, giving my ideas. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I definitely want to hear what y'all have to say. If y'all have any other ideas, leave them down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see y'all in the next video.